Me. All right, I think I'm ready. Oh, we're on. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. It is Wednesday, which is hump day, and that's figure of speech.
Hump day?
Absolutely. And obviously, I'm here with company tonight. Almost a stranger lately, I'm telling you. But no, I'm just kidding. My good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard, is here tonight, who also remembered. Thank you, Don. Don remembered.
2 more months and I'll be 2 years old.
What's that?
2 more months and I could be called 2 years old. Yay, I'm still muted.
You'll be a toddler.
I'm still... There we go.
I know. I wonder why you sounded so wonderful.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Can you sing solo? Solo, no one can hear you?
That's right. It's time.
Damn it.
Time for your solo, Don.
Yeah, great.
That's what we'll call muting you.
On the sunny side of the street. Hi, Mom.
Good to see everybody tonight. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a great week, and thank you so much for joining us and being part of the journey as we drive towards the weekend. We're getting there, but yeah, things are good. Been busy around here. Lots of things juggled and juggling. But I hope you guys have been checking out the podcast, of course. That's always released every Monday. So it's kind of in the middle of the break between the live shows. And I hope you're checking it out. Tomorrow I'm going to release the video podcast.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh, video podcast.
Huh? Yeah. Right, Reggie.
Right.
Yeah, tomorrow the video podcast. I was going to get it done earlier this week, but I've just been absolutely slammed. So I'm trying to catch up and keep the balls rolling.
And it's Tomato trying to catch up.
I like that. Should save that for the news. But Don burned it early. There you go. Hope you get another one. No, I'm just kidding. No, wait. No.
Remember the one I said right before we got on air?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do remember that. Don.
All right.
My short-term memory's good. It's my
Oh,
long-term that's a little sketchy.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, exactly.
What was that?
That's the problem we'll have pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
All right, but we got to, don't mention balls to die. It's like Annie knows you.
It's like she knows what I said before we got on the air.
I know.
Wow.
Not that we talked about balls before the show. Just so you know, that wasn't what we talked about for the record.
I bet it's not suitable. You would be right, Maggie. It's definitely not. It's NSF.
Yeah.
NSFW. NSFUT. NSFYT.
Yeah. and we are streaming also on Rumble, of course, and we got Barbara Moore and Taipan are over there along with me.
Nice.
And HB Girl to You is over there, and as well, I think she's on Twitch. She is not. Yeah, I'm sure she is. She's probably over there as well. So
Sweet.
she's keeping an eye on both of those chats, but Barbara is as well as Taipan. So great to see you guys, all of you on YouTubes. We got a bunch of you flying in the door, and that's how we like it. We like it like that, right, Don?
That's the way.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. Just say no.
There was another song that went through my head just as I started that one. What was that? Oh, I can't even remember what you said now.
Yeah, there you go. There's your short term.
Yeah.
Firing up again.
Yep.
Okay, so we got a lot of things. Hey, I'll drop in. What did that say? Dropping in a bit at Brent. Serena, nice to see you, Serena. Thanks for coming in.
Hey,
feel free to make yourself at home.
please,
Stick around.
yes,
Love to have you
absolutely.
stick around.
I like sandwiches.
Don, Jesus. This is not a sexist show.
That wasn't sexist. I'm just saying I like sandwiches. I had a
Okay.
sandwich and salad before I came here.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
great.
make yourself at home, man.
Yeah, this show's double.
If you make yourself a sandwich, feel free to make me one too.
I think I'm going to start a spin-off show called The Paranormal Pantry, and you can host it.
Oh, jeez.
You wouldn't believe what Don puts on a grill. I'm just telling you. And it's all delicious, by the way. But anyway.
Speaking of, somebody was talking with Rachel about a cougar, and cougar is actually pretty good.
Oh, jeez.
But so are the Canadian geese that Rachel has in her backyard.
Oh.
Just saying, you know.
Yeah, well, we might as well discuss culinary stuff. I mean, what the hell? It's a paranormal show. Let's talk about what you like to eat.
Hey, so Batman says Don's been hitting the Red Bull a little too hard tonight. You know, Red Bull is actually really bad for you. There's this thing called cyanocobalamin in it, and cyanocobalamin is made with metal cyanide.
I don't know if I still have crickets. No, I don't. Never mind.
What should you do with your crickets?
I actually replaced it with this because I was trying it out for the news, and it didn't work out. Because we were dual broadcasting on TFR as well, and they couldn't hear any of the sound effects and music and stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
So
anyhow, about cyanocobalamin, it's got 4 times the amount of cyanide in it that you
cares.
should at any point in the day.
No, nobody's eating.
Anyhow, sorry about that.
So wake me when you're done.
Rachel says I had a mini stroke after a few weeks of drinking Red Bull. I'd have a stroke right now. Have you ever seen the movie Over the Hedge?
Don, are you going to be more random tonight?
No,
This is a paranormal show, you remember? It's been a while, but we talk about paranormal stuff here. All right, let's get to the news, which is first up to the roster of fun here on the portal. So, without further delay, on to the news. You ready, Don?
Yep, never give squirrels Red Bull.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's go to the news while we still have a show. We still have an audience.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Brown chicken, brown cow. There you go.
Just been dying to drop that. Don's dropping the beat in here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the most trusted news. This is the Paranormal Portal News Network.
Attention deficit dawn disorder. Batman, Jesus. God.
I know. It's
What's
like,
up with that?
just got to drop some toothpicks in
Karen.
front of him and he'll start counting or something.
Yeah, no doubt. That's okay. So there was an X-File episode.
Yeah, the vampires. Yeah.
I loved it.
That's where I was going with this.
I'm going to kill you when I get done.
That was hilarious, actually.
I love that.
That was hilarious.
The great Hambino.
Yeah. I love that show. I miss that.
There were actually
that show,
there were 13 seasons of that. Did you know that?
I know that I watched every one of them. I mean, I was religious every Friday night. X-Files, quiet everybody.
Including the ones that came out in 2018?
No.
Okay.
I didn't watch those.
All right.
I didn't.
That's where I found that sound clip of Mulder talking about Sasquatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It was one of those episodes. It was awesome.
All right. Well, let's get to it. Welcome to the news desk. I'm your anchor. Don's my co-anchor, and we're going to try to
weigh you down,
drill you with some information. That didn't sound right. That didn't sound. It's again like last show. I was telling Sheldon, you wish words were like cartoons or comic books where it's like a word bubble and you could just grab it back.
Right.
That was another one. Yeah,
God,
I wish I hadn't said that. But anyway, I'm like, yeah, I said I'm like Hagrid up in here. Oh, I should not have said that. So the YouTube police are just watching. Going, get ready.
God, Brent's coming. Say it.
It's going to happen.
If Don doesn't say it, Brent will.
Cut the feed. They're obviously on something. Just life, folks. This is all natural. We're really this screwed up for real.
Yeah, and
we can't even blame chemicals.
I haven't even drank my water yet. As a matter of fact, I don't even have water. Dang.
You can have that one.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll just have to wrangle up some more later.
Now we'll just flush all it out.
I don't. Right, Deb says I don't have the ghost radar on. Breaking news: the ghost radar is going to be turned on now.
It is dead.
No, it isn't. Oh, I see what you did. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus. It's like dry humor night here on the portal.
What other kind of humor is that?
Yeah, that's like every night. Yeah. All right, so we got the news, folks, and I got some articles pulled up for you, and hopefully you find them entertaining, informative, and maybe a little revolutionary and groundbreaking. But you never know. Depends on how informed you are. I'm not very informed, so I find all this stuff amazing. Let's get to this. The first article is from an amazing site that I like to promote. All the sites we use on the show I like to promote.
God,
because
if we could just get like a nickel a click from them.
Oh, man. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it'd be $5 by the end of the year.
For our clicks.
Right.
Yeah, our clicks would be, but I'm sure they do great. All right, so we got the first article up, and this is from a site called unexplained-mysteries.com. Throughout the show, you're going to hear us use several sites, and please visit them, promote them, help them out. They're doing amazing stuff, and they need your traffic, so please consider this our endorsement for all these sites. All right, so the first one up, unexplained-mysteries.com, brings us this one. I didn't hear about this, but I did see that Sasquatch Chronicles posted this same story. Maybe not from this source, but it's out there, and it's a real doozy because apparently, from the world of the bizarre, school district goes into lockdown due to Bigfoot roaming the grounds.
Nice.
I don't know if this is tongue-in-cheek, a big jokey joke thing, or is this serious?
Well, it's not The Onion, so it's got to be true.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the world of bizarre, so.
Oh, that's true.
We had a story Sheldon and I covered where a woman used, she thought it was moose, but it was construction foam. And
the gorilla stuff. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. She had like hair like Johnny. What was it? Johnny Bravo. I mean, her hair was just a big lump of foam. Oh God.
At least it wasn't one of those two jokers with the. Oh, what do they call themselves? The Island Boys.
Oh dear God. There's a couple strokes in action. All right. So let's see what's going on with Bigfoot roaming the grounds here. The Firelands local school district in Ohio was locked down earlier this month for a very strange reason indeed.
Not really. It's in Ohio.
Well, that's true. Everything weird is in Ohio, so your phone's loud.
Yes.
All right. Students and teachers alike couldn't quite believe what they were seeing last Wednesday when an apparent Sasquatch made an appearance outside the school building. Covered from head to toe in thick brown hair, the unexpected visitor attracted a great deal of attention as it ran past classroom windows. That sounds like a planned thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like some dad was having a good day.
Yeah.
Because that'd be me. It's like running past my,
I haven't seen my kids in 3 years. Hey, kids.
That's a little extreme, but okay.
Yeah, you never know. Covered from head to toe in thick brown hair, the unexpected visitor attracted a great deal of attention as it ran past classroom windows. Its presence prompted school authorities to lock the area down, and students were ushered indoors. According to Fireland Superintendent Michael Von Gunten, Bigfoot had left its vehicle in one of the nearby parking lots before crossing the campus grounds. The school day was negatively impacted, and although lockdown drills are practiced regularly, the situation caused understandable concern and disruption, he said. Yeah. While some people may make light of the situation, the fact remains that we cannot waver from the side of safety. This individual induced panic on our campus, and this type of behavior will not be tolerated.
That's too bad, because that was funny.
It is funny. It's unfortunate that it can't be funny anymore. Like, that's the state of things, right?
Exactly, yeah.
It later transpired that the hairy visitor had, in fact, been a parent of one of the students who had decided to dress up as Bigfoot as part of some sort of prank.
Told you. Called it.
Enjoy the clink.
Well, at least he had a suit on. He didn't go streaking.
You're going to Starlog 13.
I knew nothing.
School officials were evidently not too amused by the stunt, but the students found it hilarious.
Of course they did.
Several of them ended up recording the incident and posting the footage on Facebook. So I think we should probably.
I think you better.
This is from WKYC Channel 3 News.
Make it all nice and big.
I'm going to make it all nice and big.
Oh, boy. Never mind.
Hey, there's no sound.
All seriousness, though, guys. Firelands Elementary School went into a lockdown on Wednesday. And according to school officials, an unannounced visitor came to the campus dressed in costume. The video was posted to Facebook showing someone who appears to be wearing a Bigfoot costume running past classroom windows.
He's having fun.
A letter was sent to parents saying in part, quote, while some people may make light of the situation, the fact remains that we cannot waver from the side of safety.
Bunch of killjoys. Yes.
Let's continue.
The individual induced panic on our campus, and this type of behavior will not be tolerated. Yeah. And we can assure you no one was hurt. The Lorain County Sheriff's Office confirmed to 3 News that the suspect, actually a parent, who did this. It was
it's that time you think about the senior prank season. It's May. Everybody's ready to get out of school. They do these things. The seniors do these things. I do not recommend that because we did that in high school and we got in some trouble for it. So
you really can't.
Don't do those things.
You can't, guys. I know it seems funny, but the parent was even pulled over at a traffic stop.
Wow. Guy just can't get away.
Can I see your license, son?
I'm Bigfoot. I don't need a license.
I'm a sovereign citizen. You never know, folks. You never know. I don't need no license. I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't know. Anyway, that's first news story. I don't know. What do you think, Don?
I think it was definitely newsworthy.
That was newsworthy.
I just think it's just overblown. I think things like that should still be fun. You know, it's obviously not something that's gonna, it's meant to have fun. And
it is.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I mean, just imagine if you're a school person and you saw somebody running up in a big suit like that. I mean, obviously, the first thing I'd be thinking of, oh my God, is he in a ghillie suit? What else is going on? You might. Probably not, though. I don't know. I'm just trying to look at it from both angles. It's sad. Again, it's a sad statement of where we're at, that a parent couldn't do that and just, make their kid's day and, make all the kids' day something fun and light. I mean, if he dressed up in a bunny costume, would it be as big a thing? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, but they know. Oh, look, it's got floppy ears.
Right, yeah. I don't know.
Joke, yeah.
I mean, the kindergartners, it might be a little more traumatic.
Plus, they're in Idaho or Ohio.
Yeah.
And Ohio's the state of weird anyhow.
Yeah, they got everything over there. They really do.
Ah, gosh.
That in Pennsylvania. Well, hell, there's many states.
Oh, Maggie, don't try. You're in Australia, right? Yeah. You better have a few Falstas before you do that.
It's Australia for dear.
So you can tell. Yes, sir. Somebody said, hi, officer. My name's Harry.
Get it? Harry.
Oh, great. Wow.
So this isn't a driver's license. It's a smear of blueberry juice on a piece of birch bark.
There you go.
Yeah, that probably won't work. It's probably not a valid license.
It's just an X. Lady J. Homestead says she lives in Ohio. So
well, then you know that there's lots of weirdness reported in your state.
Yep, absolutely.
And we're not mocking Ohio. I'm just telling you. You guys got everything. Bigfoot, Grassman. You got UFOs. You got cryptids, Mothman. You've got ghosts everywhere.
You've got everything.
You really do, and a bunch of strange phenomenon, and God only knows what else.
If Erie, Indiana was in Ohio, well, it'd be Erie, Ohio, but it already is. I know. Wah, wah, wah.
You want to push your own button?
I can't. I don't remember
the
which
green one.
The green one.
There we go.
And my backyard is very raw. Nice.
There you go. Well,
rural backyards are awesome.
Rural backyards are cool.
I moved to the city recently, and I have to remind myself when I get out of the car, when I get home from the show.
Does this have to do with you peeing?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't just.
We'll just cut to the chase. Yeah,
okay.
You can't just.
I can't. Yeah.
Pee next to your car anymore.
That's not gonna work. Now, my neighbors probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Exactly. or maybe not. I don't know. It depends on your neighbors. I'm just saying. Could be both.
I can imagine. Never mind.
It's all in the bed. All right, but in Ohio, everything is weird. In Oz, everything wants to eat you. So I mean, going back to Maggie, being from Oz, Australia.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say before. Hi, Jules Blacktree. How are you?
He's changed the subject. Hi,
no,
Julia.
I just saw Julia.
Hi, Julia. Jaren's here, too.
Jaren's here, too?
Says, never mind, it's bad. Yes, it was bad, Jaren. It usually is.
Never mind. All right, so we're going to go to the next news story because the first one was so much fun. It's going to be a tough act to follow. But we're going to try.
We've been at this for a half an hour now, and we're only done with the first story.
I know, but
it's such a good story.
It's one of the big criticisms that I get on YouTube from time to time. It's like, oh God, I tuned in, and all you guys do is flap your gums.
That's the point.
It's like, yeah, this is a variety paranormal show,
right?
With the variety is sometimes we actually get to the paranormal.
And for something a little off subject, hey, Bigfoot.
Hey, how about a ghost story? But first, let me tell you about my truck. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you want to hear about my new dog? He's named after the lead singer of the Descendants.
What's the lead singer of the Descendants? I don't know.
His name's Milo.
Milo. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Gosh.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not quite as knowledgeable about these things.
Karen says that's why you guys are so great. You're such a sweetie.
Only 20 minutes whisper. It didn't start until 10 past. Ha ha.
Actually, I think you're
not
right.
Not that anybody's keeping track.
No, not Maggie. Not at all. No. Time's a little different. Time runs backwards in Oz.
Maggie's going to mail back the video with tone. With grade on it.
Tone?
It says tone, yeah.
Tone.
Doesn't like our tone, apparently.
Sorry, am I using a tone?
Yeah.
Gosh.
What's your tone?
I don't know.
Might be your wicked laughter. That's
what the hell was that?
Your laugh. You got this really sinister laugh when you really get going. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, let's go to the next one because this is encouraging news for meth heads everywhere. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there because out of unexplained-mysteries.com, world's first ever tooth regrowth medication to be trialed in Japan. So if you are one of the people who went south of the pipe and suddenly you need to eat applesauce, you might be in steak land again soon. I'm not sure how this works, but
Special prices for death bags.
Yeah, it's like a gum. Literally,
you can see him looking out their window.
Hurry up, Phil! Eat your applesauce. All right.
Give me a throw.
I don't know. I shouldn't be so mean, but I do those.
They have applesauce in a squeeze pouch.
Well, it is. There's genetic reasons people can lose teeth.
That's
granted,
true.
And I don't begrudge you that, but I still, I have known people who have wasted their entire existence
right
on meth and losing their teeth, their complexion, and it just destroys people. And I don't know, when does that get to be a good idea?
Yeah,
it's like, life is boring.
Wow, Sissy Lawson's here. Hi, Sissy. Nice to see you.
Hi, Sissy.
Wow.
So I don't mean to be a dick about it. Honestly, I don't, because I know there's tooth loss for any number of reasons. And but honestly, if you choose a chemical that's going to wipe out your teeth, yeah, it's just, I don't understand that. Yep. It is. Yeah, I know. Yeah, John, it's the acid. And it's if you look at the recipe for that stuff, it's like rocket fuel anyway. And they're doing that stuff. It's like, oh.
Well, there's a lot of things. As a matter of fact, childbirth can cause problems with your teeth as well.
Sure. Decalcifications.
Yep. Decalcification. Yep. Needs to go in, have them super clean and resealed. And
those people I feel for completely. You know, I mean, that's totally a normal function of their biology in many ways, and the genetic issues that cause weak enamel and stuff. Sure. I mean that my heart goes out to those people.
Well, let's get to this.
But anyway, there's good news for all of the above because you might be able to grow new teeth. In a world's first, scientists will be testing out a medication allegedly capable of regrowing human teeth. Now, I remember they were doing research with stem cells and being able to regenerate teeth, they said, or that reported. So I wonder if it's something to that effect. But anyway, let's keep reading. Nobody likes to go into the dentist, but imagine if we lived in a world in which dentures and tooth implants were a thing of the past and where it was possible to simply regrow an entire adult tooth whenever you happen to need one. I wonder how long it takes.
I tell you what, though, I've spent so much money putting caps on my teeth.
And crowns, stuff. Yeah.
I wonder how much that would cost, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
And how painful it'd be like, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Dental repair 'em. Whip out your wand. This might sound like science fiction, but scientists in Japan are currently preparing to begin clinical trials of a potentially revolutionary treatment that could enable a patient to do exactly that. The trials, which will begin at Kyoto University Hospital in September, will see the medication administered intravenously to 30 healthy adult volunteers to confirm its effectiveness. That's interesting. Intravenously. If all goes to plan, it will then be given to young patients suffering from congenital tooth deficiency to see if it results in spontaneous tooth regrowth.
Wow.
The medication itself works by deactivating the USAG1 protein, which inhibits tooth growth.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't know it was all due to a protein. That's weird.
Well, yeah, everything's due to a protein.
Oh, I guess.
Down syndrome's due to a misalignment in the chromosome protein.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
God, it's scary that you know things like that.
Yeah, shush.
I don't get it. It's like you are this dichotomy of people.
Dichotomy of people.
There's several of you in there, Don.
I am the sum of my former selves.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I can say. I'm the sum of my former selves.
Yeah, exactly. God dang. These allergies up here are killing me. There we go. We want to do something to help those that are suffering from tooth loss or absence, said lead researcher Katsu Takahashi. That while there has been no treatment to date providing a permanent cure, we feel that people's expectations for tooth growth are high. Eventually, it should be possible to regrow teeth, not only in patients with health conditions, but in healthy adults who have lost a tooth due to accident or decay.
How about fist fights in high school?
Oh, yeah. Hockey. My God, hockey. Visiting a dentist, it seems, may never be quite the same again. Yeah, the dental association would be like, no!
Yeah, no doubt. They'd be out of business in a quick.
Yeah, I mean, my God.
But how if it's done intravenously, how do they know where to go for the tooth to regrow back?
I don't know. Maybe it's an empty socket has that genetic information, but there's a protein block in the formation of a new one.
So what if you had your wisdom teeth removed because they came in wrong?
They came back
and they come back.
Yeah, you might get new wisdom teeth. Woo!
What do you do then?
Yeah.
Do you have double the wisdom and double the pain?
God only knows. That's a good point, though. Because I don't know. I don't know how they turn one off and one on, or if they do, or if they just put
I can turn them all off.
All right. Well, there you go. I don't know. It's just news, but it's kind of exciting, actually. I think this is really cool. This is the medical sciences that I'm excited by, that better the human condition.
Right,
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
is cool.
God only knows. I mean, you imagine it was a foregone conclusion in the not too distant past where you reach a certain age and your teeth are probably going to just be shot because people didn't have dental care at all,
right?
Or very little. It was just like, here's a toothbrush, here's some floss, stay busy. and if you had a bad tooth, it was like yanked out with pliers.
Right.
So, not that it's a lot different today, but they do have Novocaine. Anyway, I think it's exciting news. Here's to wondering. It's interesting that allegedly, again, I heard that they had done some research about using stem cells, the person's own stem cells, to institute new tooth growth. But apparently this is more of a general all over your body thing intravenously.
Instigate.
I wonder, you know what I'm wondering about?
I have no idea.
Well, I was just wondering what if the new teeth do grow in, but if they're much weaker than what they would have been, just due to the age of the recipient.
I bet you. So, I mean, I read a lot. I read a lot.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I read these books, right? And they're all like science fiction and whatever. But, they talk about nanotechnology, and like there's this book series I've read. It just goes on and on. About nanotechnology. They do this intravenous thing, and it like bolsters your bones. It likes make them really calcified, and so you can have superhuman strength, things like this, right? Mm-hmm. And so I mean, and it's nanotechnology. So anytime you hurt yourself, the nanobots, little tiny nanites, they just go to work fixing whatever it is.
That's cool.
So. I mean, what if we get to that point where it's like, we'll just shoot you up with some nanites and let you go, and hey, have a great day.
Elaine says teeth growing on your back.
Oh, I know. Did anybody watch, what was it, a show called Channel 11?
No.
Oh my God, it was crazy. It was about...
okay.
Anyhow. Wow. You wouldn't believe it, but I don't have time to sit down and watch and read things. But I watch and read things all the time. I'm just so freaking busy all the time.
Paranormal Portal, move southwest, young man.
Yeah, no doubt. Your allergies would be finished.
Yeah, I think I'd be game for that, actually. I'm kind of tired of winter in a lot of ways. Mystery Science Theater 3000 Tommy says.
Hey, Tommy, how are you? Cryptovania,
absolutely. He and Jason. The Cryptovania crew.
I haven't read that book, Rachel. I've read lots of Greg Bear books, but I've never read that one. Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you. So, let's continue. That's all I know. I don't read enough, unfortunately. I just don't have time. I don't have time to curl up with a nice book, but I used to love to. I used to read all the time.
God, it's an obsession.
Yeah, it's one that I
just all the time.
Sure.
When I first got my first smartphone, I found Kindle app really quick.
I'll bet you did.
I was shelling out a lot of money for books.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the next one. I think we're just going to stop after this one.
Okay.
Because this news is going really long. Here's the last news story for the night. God.
What? No, there's no big cats in Australia.
Oh, no. But au contraire, mon frère.
Oh?
Apparently. I'm just saying everything else is in Australia. Why not? They got yowies, they got bunyips, they got
drop
big
bears.
Cats. A big cat. It's a panther. It's Australian for cat.
It's Australian for cat.
It's an Australian house cat. Well, we'll see what it says, because according to unexplained-mysteries.com, in the nature and environment section, it's Prospector Films possible Black Panther in Victoria, Australia, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Yeah. It looks like tall grass. I mean, it could be a Photoshop, but if it's filmed, maybe there's a clip. All right, the animal, which looked unusually large for a domestic cat, yeah, that definitely does, was seen bounding through a nearby field. Over the years, we've seen plenty of videos purporting to show evidence of large felines in the UK, but relatively few from Australia, a country that would certainly be more capable than the British Isles for providing a home to a population of large exotic predatory cats. The latest evidence that show that such animals might exist in the country comes courtesy of prospector Angus James, who had been searching for gold near historic mining town of Ballarat in Victoria when he spotted an unusual animal in a nearby field. Yeah, I know. Well, good thing I muted so you could do it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
He started recording footage as the creature bounded through the long grass. I was metal detecting when I saw the blackness in the paddock, he told Yahoo News. Whatever it was quite a big cat of some sorts. Maybe they'd just been eating lots of farmyard mice, but it was moving in a straight line and had a very heavy run. After uploading his footage to social media, it quickly racked up over 1 million views and prompted others in the local area to come forward and report similar sightings. Whether or not the video actually does show a black panther remains unclear, but it's certainly an interesting clip and one that's likely to reignite the debate about exotic big cats in Australia. You can check out the footage for yourself below. I think we will.
I think we should.
This is by Gold Coins and Relics, is the I guess it's Facebook page. So let's take a look. That's mighty big to be a house cat.
Yeah.
Look at that, it's just bounding. It's obviously slowed down a bit, though. Or it's got a horrible frame rate on his camera.
Right?
Wow.
Live in potato vision.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the grass here, it's got to be 2 or 3 feet, right?
Yep.
So,
That's pretty big.
yeah, it is.
Somebody said something about the tail's too small to be a panther. But then again, it could just be a mutation, too, though.
Sure, could be stunted tail of some kind. But that is true. I mean, generally the tails are a little longer. But it doesn't seem to be running like a dog. It does seem to be running like a cat.
Philip Blair says, well, it's not a moose.
Yeah, definitely not a moose. That's no moose. All right. Well, that's a lot of distance there. So there it is. I don't know. Big cats in Australia. What do you guys think?
Australia, yep.
What do you guys think? It's possible.
It does run like a big cat. Yep,
Again,
absolutely.
I think the same thing was true in Australia as it was in the UK, where a lot of people believed that these big cats were introduced because they were exotic pets.
Right.
And then the laws changed and people
just
said,
let them go. Yeah.
go, be free. And that's why we have Asian carp all over the U.S. now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, they're not too bad if you smoke them right.
Yeah, and it's apparently really easy to catch. You just drive your boat through and they'll knock you out. I mean, those things they just freak and go airborne. And they're like, 3, 5, 8 pounds of fish smacking you in the head at 30 miles an hour. That'll change your day.
Has it happened?
Not to me.
Oh, okay.
They didn't make it up to my neck of the woods on the Mississippi when I was there. I don't know now. I mean, God only knows how far they're going to go. But, yeah, that's pretty crazy.
There you go.
So, anyway, this has been the presentation of the Paranormal Portal News. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Had a few laughs and maybe learned something new. And there's new hope for good teeth for all of us.
Yep.
All right, let's get back to the rest of the show.
So I mentioned Smokey the cat. Elaine Clifford wants to know how you keep them lit.
Elaine!
Oh, and by the way, Eric Frey's here. Eric Frey. Hey, it's Eric Frey's birthday today. Everybody say happy birthday to Eric Frey.
Ah, happy birthday, Eric.
Happy birthday.
Fantastic.
Woo-hoo.
How many laps around the sun you got under your belt, brother?
Yeah. See, I did see it, Eric. I really did. I was just waiting for the opportune time.
Happy birthday, man.
You had to have happy music there, at least porny music, one or the other.
Porny. I don't watch enough of that, apparently.
I said corny music.
I don't think that's what you said.
Mom, what did I say? Mom will tell me. Dawn.
Yeah.
I heard that.
She's already thrown her slipper
Great.
from Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm already in the corner. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's where it's warmest.
It's always 90 degrees.
It's always 90 degrees in the corner.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that was the news. Hopefully you found that entertaining and fun and informative. I actually learned some new stuff tonight, too. And we got that going for us. So now, Don. Mm-hmm. Don has a special report plan for you guys. So.
I do.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, because I thought I was throwing you a hook there.
Well,
but
if you want to hear about my car making me mad today, yeah, let's go ahead.
What made you mad?
My car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Couldn't get the key out of it.
Oh.
I was like...
Well, it's better not be able to get the key in it, I guess. You're not going anywhere then, but at least you can turn a stuck key.
The problem is, yeah, you can turn it on. You just can't take it out. The problem is I can't lock the door with the key in the ignition, which is cool, but, it's kind of, it doesn't do me any favors. It's like, I'm just going to leave my key in the ignition with the doors unlocked. Here, steal my car.
It's insured, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
God. Well, in another bit of news.
If they stole my car, I'd be able to buy 2 new ones.
Yeah. Eric Fry's birthday is in November. He said it's not his birthday.
Well, happy birthday anyhow. It's your half birthday.
Philip Blair said happy unbirthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mad Hatter.
Yeah. Just take this medicine.
Fine.
You'll get bigger. All right.
Eat this mushroom and you'll get smaller.
Yeah, for sure. There you go. That's what I've heard anyway. Let's see. Justin Goodearth came over and Rumbles. Good to see you, Justin.
How you doing, buddy?
Wonderful to see you. I should look over at. I should look over here. Lucky Gypsy is over there in Twitch, man in the Ford as well. So, like I said, I knew she was there. Just saw it from my own eyes. Okay. What you doing?
I was just reading over your shoulder.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you don't have the Rumble chat open, do you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taipan says, I partied with some Australian Navy guys in Japan.
They're pretty fun to party with, I tell you.
Yeah. We stole a giant ice cream cone and hoisted it up on the ship. It's an Australian Navy tradition to grab something in every port. Yeah, like jail time. Good day, mate. Oh, God.
I have a friend that got pulled off a train somewhere in Warsaw.
Really?
Yeah, he got pulled off a train, him and his buddies, and
somehow they just hitching a ride kind of thing.
Well, they were just kind of backpacking through Warsaw's Poland. Yeah,
Poland.
So they were heading back to I think they were heading back to one of the Slovakian states.
Oh,
I can't remember, but anyhow, they got yanked off, and 3 days later, his buddies are gone. He's still sitting down.
He's still in the clink. Oh no! Wow.
He's got a great story. It's all great.
That'll wreck your travel plans in a hurry.
He said he had a great time.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Polish jails are pretty fun then.
I don't know.
Okay. It's called tourism, Barbara Morris.
It's called dark tourism.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Well, at least he wasn't a cartel mule or something like that.
Yeah, no, he was
just hitching a ride was okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess so. They just want to make an example out of him. You're staying longer. Screw you. All right. So we're going to get to an article that we've been blowing through. That didn't sound right at all.
Where are you at today? My God, every other thing out of your mouth is just subject to
a bad interpretation.
Ridicule.
Yeah, your ridicule. It's subject to Don's witticisms. Yeah.
Don sense.
Yeah, the Don sense. Hey, Unknown. Good to see you. Good to see you. Unknown actually made some new videos that are posted on. They are posted on
Discord.
Discord. Thank you very much. I lost that word. It was just gone from my head. But I'll be using them on the show. They were really well done.
Excellent.
We were testing some today. He tested it out. It's like, hey, how's that music? And he's like, ooh, yeah, we don't use that one. Okay. So. Yeah, I just got to make sure. Unfortunately, the YouTube gods are very, very
fickle. Fickle. That's a good word.
It is. It was the word you came up with. It's the verbal equivalent to flubber.
What is the verbal equivalent to flubber?
I don't know. What is that in reference to?
I missed that one.
I don't know what she's saying.
Philip Blair says my grandpa's brother, which would be your great uncle, hijacked a train in Australia during World War II. Oof. While stationed there just because he wanted to drive. He got himself in a bit of trouble. You think? But it was World War II, so stranger things have happened during that time.
I made him drink Foster's for a whole week.
That'd do it.
I have some questions for you later on, Brent. Hey, what's going on here? Is this an interrogation? What's going on? Yeah, just holler at me.
The fluffy pillows. You're not the fluffy pillows.
Absolutely not. I prefer.
And the comfy chair.
Absolutely. I'll go right to sleep. Anyway, let's get to this article we've been burning through. This is from ranker.com. And this is an article talking about the graveyard shift readers share guardian angel stories. And this was written by Linda Myers. And it's been a good article. There's some pretty cool stories. I don't think they're all guardian angel, but they're definitely sound like encounters with other presences, if you will. And, again, we don't know what they are, but we know that they're out there.
Not the Dawnquisition. Well, that's good.
The Dawnquisition.
Nice. I love it when people get my inferences.
This is a hell of a mess tonight, isn't it? This whole show.
I love this. So anyhow.
All right, let's go. Number 10 is the one we're on. And again, check out ranker.com. It's pretty awesome. And you will find lists and articles relating to anything, pretty much everything. So it's a great resource for whatever you're interested in. Again, ranker.com. So let's get to the number 10 is one we're on. This one is called First Friend. And this was posted by Ezekiel Vera. He said, when I was a kid, I used to play with a teenager after school. I wasn't very social, so my mom was a bit happy that I made a friend. Well, one day she asked me how she was physically. So I started describing her: blonde, short hair, tall and skinny, and always wore the same dress and had scars on her wrists. My mom's face was blank. Everything was normal on the days that would come until one weekend when the previous owner of the house came to visit, and turns out my mother called her and she brought her family album. She showed it to me, and there it was.
Oh, wow.
The girl I used to spend my afternoons with. She told me that she had taken her own life.
Oh, wow.
And I don't remember how many years ago, and that was the reason that she moved into another house. After that, I never saw her again. But I still remember her as my first friend. It's kind of sweet, but it's kind of sad too, you know?
Yeah, well, they had a good relationship, apparently.
Right, but the sadness is okay, so somebody is in such a state of pain and anguish that the only thing they can think is, I got to make all this stop.
Oh, yeah.
And then God only knows what their experience is after, but obviously it sounds like that they're stuck.
Right.
And they're probably still stuck in that. So to have that connection, to have that ability to contact and have a relationship, I think is really beautiful. But as soon as this person knew, then it was over. I mean, and I don't know why that is. Did something change in the person, in this Ezekiel, or did something change in the energy, or for the personality? Was it just trying to let it be known that she was still around? I don't know. That's the conundrum, right?
You always talk about sometimes they just want to be acknowledged.
Yes.
And maybe that's all it took. Is it just, that one, hey, this is her, this is who you're talking about, and the recognition and being able to put a name to the face and, a story to it as well, especially a sad one where, somebody takes their own life, that, they just wanted one more connection. Yeah. One more connection, one more, positive something.
Yeah.
And maybe that was all it took, and then the person was able to move on.
I hope so. That's a great angle. I like that. I hope you're right, because it makes me sad that this presence, this intelligence could still be stuck with nobody, So maybe she wanted her friend to know that she was okay. Yeah, good point, Annie.
That could be it.
That might be it.
And just so connecting with that younger one, was the one that brought it back. Yeah, absolutely.
Great takes.
Yep.
Yeah, you see, I love talking about this stuff with you guys. You guys come with great angles on this stuff. So, what was that one? Creep shares creepy stories with doppelgangers. We'll have to check that one out. The Girl Who Missed the Hornet's Nest. This is posted by Lacey Weber. When I was younger and living in my deceased grandmother's house, I still do. It was a windy and rainy day, so I decided to smoke out of the bathroom window.
Uh-oh.
Nothing unusual. This window never had any problems opening, but this time I went to open it and it wouldn't budge, like at all. So I got my flashlight. It was dark. It was dark out to see what was preventing it from opening. And then I see something moving. And there's a newly made giant hornet's nest hanging there on top of the windowsill.
Wow.
I froze. I have a phobia of wasps and have been stung well over 10 times. But the weirdest thing was nothing was stopping the window. It was unlocked and there was nothing blocking it. The next day we sprayed it. I go to open the window and boom, opens like butter as usual. I truly believe someone was watching out for me that night, and I think my great-grandmother held the window shut.
Wouldn't that just suck, though, if you open that window and it just shook the nest and...
Oh, yeah.
Kicking the hornet's nest, you know?
Yeah, literally. I don't know if does smoke work on hornets like it does on bees?
It does, but it just pisses them off, and then you're just being chased by
different reaction. Okay,
exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was hanging out in Michigan with my cousin, we were mowing. They had this big ranch, and we had to mow this yard.
Yep.
And we ended up hitting a hornet's nest, and it was one of those paper ball ones.
Oh yeah.
So they're already pissed, and they were swarming and chasing us.
Oh, Tommy.
We ran off. And then we came back with like sweaters and gloves and hats and everything we could do. And we came back with like napalm. We had like hairspray and lighters. And
oh, man.
So, they moved out.
I bet they did. So I used to have like dog fence, you know, like the 6x6 kennel fencing.
Yeah.
Because it was easy to move and everything like that, and I can move it around. And anyhow, so I left it out over the winter and through the summer one year, and then I went back to go, you know, move it around, and I noticed that inside there was a bunch of hornets coming out from one of the pipes, right?
Oh, geez,
and I was like, no, that ain't gonna happen. So I took it, I dumped gas down the bottom. And then there was an open spot in the bottom of it. So what I did was I poured the gas in the top, lit it from the bottom, and it blew. it was like a bullet. It just went poof right out, right? And all these dead hornets just come flying out of there.
Oh my god!
This honeycomb, and no, well, it's not really a honeycomb, but
it's the nest.
The nest just poof flew right out the top of it. That was cool because you could hear it. It was just like a mortar dropping. Poof. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Do it again.
We used to make those tennis ball cannons with tennis ball cans.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into the specifics, but God, they would launch. So I can't imagine a bunch of gas in a tube like that. Little more combustible. Yeah. Anyway.
It was fun. Tommy said that would be tragic. Have you guys seen Jungle Cruise? Don't be ridiculous, Axel. That was a great movie.
I didn't see it.
You've got to see it. It's a great movie.
This is with The Rock?
Yes.
Really?
And Emily Blunt.
Okay.
And that guy, that British comic, he is so hilarious.
Oh, okay.
God, that guy's funny.
Here we go. Here's another one. 20s from Heaven.
Oh, I'll take 20s from the pocketbook. I don't mind.
Becky Miller wrote this one. Said, my dad always used to give me $20 when I was a bit low. And he passed 15 years ago. And to this day, if I'm low on money, $20 will appear in an odd spot. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's pretty cool. But you got to wonder. It's like, hey, Dad, where's the lottery numbers? Let's just
let's
get her done.
Let's just get this thing done.
It's like, I appreciate the 20, but come on. You could change my world with the lottery numbers.
Yeah. Dawn and munitions. What could go wrong?
I know. Can you imagine? It's just like, you're kind of a pop culture icon in here. You know that? Wicked bastard. All right. Babysitting and a best friend. This one's posted by Merej Greer. I almost misread that word.
Yeah, I looked at her and went, what does that say?
I was like, huh?
We should put our glasses on, Brent.
Yeah. I had an old Palm that my dad had bought me in college.
Palm, P-O-M, Pomeranian.
Yeah. I said Palm. I made sure to enunciate clearly. Very, very clearly, because it didn't look like that when I first saw it. I was like... I had an old Palm that my dad bought me in college, and she was blind and deaf, but still putted along. Well, I don't even know that word, putted along. That's cute.
Putted, yeah.
I came in from work one day and could smell my dad's cologne very clearly, and he'd been dead for about a year. Well, I started walking through the house and saw the front door standing open. Idiot X didn't shut it. I ran to her basket knowing full well that if she got outside, she was coyote fodder. And I found her sleeping peacefully. I truly believe my daddy stayed with her all day to keep her safe. Nice. Oh, that's sweet. That's a lovely story. Yeah. I love those stories, Don. They warm my heart. They warm my cockles.
Oh, God.
Come on. I mean, just why not?
You're supposed to say cockles of your heart.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant, Don.
It
was an inference.
It's like a dangling participle.
What other cockles do I have?
I don't want to know.
I never talk about my cockles on your show.
Mom.
Except for my heart, of course. Jesus. This show is such a flaming wreck.
Rachel says, Annie, only being able to give high twos instead of high fives afterwards.
The good news is his counting issues got a little briefer.
Don't say that, dog.
Yeah, don't. All right. Everything's peace. Don, just a lot of peace. Full of peace. All right. Godmother Wants to Talk is next by Rachel Ligaya. Says, I started dating someone new. My godmother had passed about a couple years earlier. While hanging out with my boyfriend and his friend and watching a movie, I mentally asked godmother if she liked him and thought he was good for me. Moments later, I felt my iPhone buzz in my back pocket, and I checked it, and it had said that I'd missed a FaceTime call from godmother.
Huh.
I was rather freaked out by the FaceTime part. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. What kind of face are you going to see? Right? Something like Storm of the Century or Red Rose, you know?
Yeah, Night of the Living Dead. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it wouldn't have been, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, creepy story. Maybe we'll stop here. What time we got, Don? It's only 8:07.
It's only 8:07. Wow, that hour's gone by.
Yeah, but it like started out, the news took the news for forever.
Yes. Low-hanging fruit.
Actually, this is the end of the story anyway.
Oh, there you go. We made it through the story.
Yeah, well, it's been a few shows, so. All right, Dreams Come True, posted by Andrea Albelnor. And a few years ago, I was taking a nap during the day, and my parents were working, and my sister was out with some friends. The only person in the house beside me was our cleaning lady. And I was having a dream of me sitting in front of a large black old phone, and it rang, and I heard someone saying, "He died."
Oh, my.
Suddenly, I woke up to hear my house phone ringing.
Really?
It was a highway patrol calling in my home country. They don't go to your house. They just call you saying someone, I don't know, passed in a car collision. And I remember him mentioning a man's name, but it wasn't someone related to us or any family friend. The cop realized it was the wrong number, but somehow my home phone number was the last number in this guy's phone. Until this day, we don't know who this old guy was. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then to have the dream premonition of it before that as well. Interesting. Well, there you go, folks. Those are some strange stories, and they're listed as guardian angel stories, but I don't think many of them are. I think there's a few for sure, but again, what is a guardian angel? Well, it could be an old loved one that has passed and is looking out for you. It could be an actual divine presence. It could be many things. It could be a living person that just intercedes in this amazing way at the right time.
Right. Yeah.
But at any rate, I think those stories are wonderful and generally pretty positive. And again, I like shining a light on that part of the paranormal because we get really stuck in the dark stuff, so it's kind of refreshing to visit some lighthearted stuff.
There's I was thinking about it earlier, and actually Paisley mentioned to me, talking about old black phones and stuff. Kids nowadays will never know the joy of being able to just slam that phone down when you're just so mad at that ex or that.
And the ringing that it makes.
Yeah.
Because there's an actual bell in there.
Yeah. They'll never know the joy of slamming down a phone.
No, but you can still hang up on people. But
but it's not as powerful. It's not as released.
What they'll never know the joy of is the ability to take the receiver off the phone and just
set it to
nobody
side.
can call.
And just try to turn down that because you hear it all the way through the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just ignore it.
Yeah, the vibrating.
I don't want
phones.
to talk to them.
We've become conditioned to hear those vibrating phones
Right, yeah.
blocks away. Yeah. Yeah. So there you have it. There's a lot of things that, even the rotary phones.
Oh God, those are funny. Watching kids try those.
Yeah, I know.
Oh God, I've watched so many TikToks of people trying to get them to figure out how to use a phone.
What are you going to do when they block TikTok? You're going to be lost.
Reels.
Reels. There you go. Yeah. That's probably sponsored. That whole bill is probably sponsored.
No, that's not possible. No.
By YouTube
be,
and by Facebook.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it is. Because they're getting smoked on the shorts.
You know what's funny is they want to ban TikTok, but they don't want to build manufactories in the United States so we can still buy Chinese products. I don't get that. I don't understand.
I don't think we're going to fix the world on this show.
Yeah, well, no, there's no fixing that.
We're not going to fix it on this show.
All we do is continue to bring up new questions.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Anyhow.
Aussie Tiger says it's not as enjoyable with the mobile phones.
Right, yeah, no, it's.
It isn't.
It costs a lot of money if you slam down a mobile phone.
Yeah.
There's $500, buy.
500? Are you kidding? A lot of them are like nearly 1,000 now.
Well, that's okay. Apple even said we put out substandard phones, so you have to buy a new one every couple of years. And people still keep buying iPhones.
Did they say that?
Yeah, they've admitted it. They know it.
I'll tell you what.
People still buy iPhones.
Yeah. I've seen the camera quality on iPhones is going down with the newer generations. And that's pretty sad because they used to have amazing cameras and now I don't know what the hell they did this last generation, but it sucks in comparison. So at any rate.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
All right.
American consumerism.
American consumerism. That's us. All right. We're going to go to the cryptids, Don. We're going to go to the cryptids. Wait till you see this, Don.
I don't know, but I bet you it's about 90 degrees there.
Wait.
It's the cryptid corner. Oh. What? What is that? Wow. Wow. When did that happen?
When Grumpy Owl sent it to me.
Nice.
Yeah, talk about that, huh?
Wow. Maybe I need to commission Grumpy Owl to do me some work.
I'm telling you what. He's very, very talented. Very, very talented. The Unknown is also incredibly great with providing clips and stuff that we use on the show. So thank you again. That's awesome. And cryptids, my favorites. Fred Flintstone. Yabba dabba doo.
Yabba dabba don't.
Hiya, Fred.
What's up, Twinkle Toes?
Hiya, Fred.
Irish
Sorry.
Bigfoot taught me the
Come on,
importance
that was my Barney. Nothing?
Oh, are we a Barney?
I was doing
We're all
Barney.
Barney.
Barney Rubble.
Trouble? Barney Rubble?
Yeah, anyway, it's gone.
We're
The
all
moment's over, Don.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's ruined. Anyway, we're going to go to the cryptid corner now, folks, and we're going to talk about the cryptids. The creatures that are unsubstantiated by science, but we all know they're out there.
Yeah.
We all know it.
We don't need no sciences.
We don't need no stinking sciences. Yeah, we're talking about Bigfoot. We're talking about Dogman. We're talking about anything else we can get our hands on.
Was that supposed to be a rake by any chance?
It was.
Oh,
yeah.
my.
Pale crawler.
That is scary.
It was. She and I talked, and I was like, "Hey, can you make it with a Dogman, a Bigfoot, and a pale crawler?" Because I thought that's a great cross section of
Yeah, no doubt.
cryptids.
Well, they're definitely the creepier of the ones, you know. If there's, if I don't want to see a Dogman, I definitely don't want to meet a crawler or a rake or whatever you want to call them, ghouls, whatever.
Yeah.
No, those are. But still, top of the list is BEKs. You know, just can't do it.
I just don't know if they're cryptid or if they're a spiritual thing or if they're demonic or if they're alien or what the hell they are.
Crap with it.
They're creepy, though, whatever they are.
Hell.
Anyway, we're going to start out with SasquatchChronicles.com, ladies and gentlemen, Wes Germer's site, and this is a great location to find an incredible amount of fascinating articles and blog entries that Wes does an amazing job on. He's always keeping it very current and a lot of times he posts listener emails and stuff that he gets, and those I find absolutely fascinating because these are people's firsthand experiences coming into contact with this stuff. And of course, you listen to the podcast, you're going to get a bunch of that as well. But these are other stories that may not make it into shows, but they're still fascinating. Yep. And each story that we get our hands on through whatever measure, whether it's articles, word of mouth, or, sources like this, they teach us something, or they stand to teach us something. And it's just, it's, a lot of people dismiss anecdotal experiences as, well, people aren't good witnesses. Well, people are witness to something. And while there is a possibility, there's, misconstrued things that happen in a very adrenalized moment, still they saw things and they see things and they notice things that other people don't notice. And so we do get this behavioral cross-section of what these creatures are like, or these beings are like. And I think that that's amazingly valuable. And to dismiss that, I think, is absolutely ridiculous because, I would say that right now there is enough evidence that if it were a murder trial, a person would get convicted based on how much evidence there is. Right. Anecdotal, footprints, hair, DNA, et cetera, tree breaks, structures, et cetera. There's a preponderance of evidence that there's something going on out there in terms of Bigfoot. And this is only Bigfoot that we're talking about right here in this example. But to dismiss people's experiences, I think you miss an opportunity to get an insight on what they do and how they do it. Because every story is a little different, so it teaches us something new if you pay attention. So let's get into the first one, again, from Sasquatch Chronicles blog. And this one, I've got two of them from here. You know what I didn't do? I did.
What did you not do?
I forgot, and I actually closed one that I was reading.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah, it was a big one, too.
That's what you get for not... You can't open last?
Maybe. Let me do that. Let me try this. Hold on, folks. I got to do some surgery here. History. Recently closed. I think it was this one. We never went back to that property. Is this the one?
Oh, that's pretty big. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, this is the third incident. Here it is. I did find it. If you listen to the last show, we covered two of the three incidents that this person submitted. The story, again, to go back to the beginning, because it's exceptionally well written and very exhaustively written, but it's very good information.
And he didn't have this one on the show?
I don't know. It was just one of his listener emails he posted, so I don't know if he's making a show of it or not. But this is from May 2nd. We never went back to that property.
Somebody got tired. He must have copy and pasted that in, because that's a lot of typing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure he got it in the email and just went,
Control-C, Control-V. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, this is part 3, and you look at how long that is. Yeah. So we've got a lot to get through here on this one.
Well, here's the rest of the show, folks. Strap in.
It might be a good segment of it. Hopefully my voice holds up. Wow, high speed there, Brent. That is pretty cool. Okay, Bogart. Justin. All right, there we go. All right, so third incident in this report from Sasquatch Chronicles. Again, we covered the first two on the last show, but just head over to Sasquatch Chronicles blog if you missed it and read the first two. We never went back to that property. It's from May 2nd, the posting. It's exceptional. I mean, it's just really well done. So let's get to this one. And this is the third incident. So this encounter, I still don't understand. My buddies and I had just graduated from high school, and it's the typical time in life when everyone starts going their separate ways. One of my good friends, Derek, was getting ready to move to New Zealand for a few years, and another immediately off to college in Utah. And I was working with my dad, who was a general contractor and was working as a superintendent, helping build our commercial construction projects. Well, as a last fun hurrah, 4 of us got together and went off-roading and exploring south of our town down the I-15 a little ways. And this is an area somewhat new to us, but as housing developments continued to boom, we knew in a few years most of these areas would be gone. I remember driving down a paved road in the area, was heavily wooded with oak trees. Now I was driving and we came around a bend in the road Now, today as an adult, this would have been such an awesome place to have a home on a few acres. It was beautiful and secluded. All of the homes had a significant amount of land and were really spaced far apart. I noticed a long gravel driveway leading up some large pepper trees. What's a pepper tree, do you know? I'm not familiar with that. But the front lawn of the home looked like it was dying, and we could just... What?
Black peppercorn.
Oh, okay.
It's a peppercorn tree.
Okay. But it looked like it was dying, and we could just make out that the house was back in the trees. The garage door was open, and so was the front door. And out of curiosity, we backed up and drove in the driveway towards the house, and sure enough, it was completely vacant. I suspect that one of the large developers had purchased all of the land to later build one of the current golf course communities, and we could not believe our eyes. The people must have moved out no longer than a week before. Oh, Planet X, thanks. Hello to you. Out of curiosity, I already read that, blah, blah, blah. The people must have moved out no longer than a week before, and we yelled hello a few times before walking into this vacant home. It was immaculate, literally clean and well kept. It was a decent-sized single-level home with 3-car garage, and all of the furniture was gone, but there were a few random odds and ends left behind in a few of the rooms and garage. We were not the kind of guys that would vandalize a place like this, and we thought it was so cool and decided to come back later that night and camp out inside. Oh, jeez. I think we all told our parents the classic type of story that each of us would be at another's house, but in reality, we were staying the night in this abandoned house. We grabbed sleeping bags, pillows, and my friend stole this massive red candle from his mom's Christmas decoration shelf in his garage. That was going to be our source of light since we didn't have a lantern that we could take without it looking too suspicious. We arrived back at the house just as it was almost all the way dark, and boy, this place looked creepy now. Especially with the way it was tucked back into the trees, and the house was a good-sized house, which I would estimate between 2,300 and 2,500 square feet. Backed my truck into the garage and glossed the old-style wood garage door that had the big springs on the sides, and the power had been shut off to the home, so we had to open and close the garage door manually by pulling the disconnect on the opener. Well, we set up the shop in the center of the living room and had the angle sitting in a paint can lid with all of our sleeping bags spread out around it. I wonder if they meant candle instead of angle. Must have been. Anyway, we got settled in and we were just talking about future plans, good times that we had together throughout the years, just typical conversations, and it was a really fun night. And just as we were all getting tired and winding down, we thought we heard a weird-sounding, strange whistle coming out from outside. We all shut up and listened, but didn't hear it again. We blew out the candle. No more than 15 minutes later, we heard something hit the large living room window really hard, which immediately woke us up and scared the crap out of us. All of the blinds and curtains were gone, so we felt like we were in a big fishbowl. As soon as we relit the candle, as we were discussing what that loud noise was, we heard the strange whistle again. It was a longer whistle and a lower tone than what you would normally whistle. We were so far away from the town, or really any real road, nobody even knew we were at this house. Then another really loud bang on the kitchen window, and another on the dining room sliding glass door. Then another weird long whistle. We were absolutely pooping bricks. There would be a few minutes of complete silence, followed by another loud bang on the windows or side of the home. Whatever was out there was seemingly walking in circles, just pounding in the windows, and would intermittently do a long, weird-sounding whistle. We were beyond terrified and knew whoever was out there could see us inside perfectly while we could not see it. I ran to the nearest bedroom and pulled off the bifold closed doors. My friends did the same, and we started putting them up against the windows to block the view into the home. These loud pounds on the windows and sides of the home got more and more intense and began happening all around the home, which really made us believe There were multiple people outside tormenting us. We yelled out some obscenities and threats, telling them to get the hell out of there. And this went on literally all night.
That would suck.
Oh, man, can you imagine? We were so scared we didn't even try to leave. It was pitch black outside. With my truck being parked in the garage, that meant that someone would have to manually open the garage door and hold it open long enough for us to drive out and then be exposed for a minute outside of the truck. We were so freaked out that was absolutely not an option. We removed hanger rods as weapons or whatever we could find, and we ended up with a shower curtain rod as a weapon too, although it was really lightweight and cheap. Well, after hours and hours of this nonstop horrifying ordeal, the sun began coming up and it stopped. We waited until it was fully light outside and tore out of there as fast as we could. Mm-hmm. Later that afternoon, I got up from taking a nap since I hadn't slept all that night and it was Saturday. The more I thought about that experience, the more it really pissed me off. I wanted to go back with my Remington 870 shotgun and sneak in on foot and see who's there during the day. Maybe it was some rogue homeless people that were just pissed that we took their spot. Well, I called up my buddies Zach and Derek, and they were down to go back and spy on the property to see the bastards that did that to us. Well, Zach snuck his dad's 12-gauge shotgun, so now we had two. We had no intentions on using them, but wanted some sort of protection in case it was some creepy Charles Manson type people. But the time we made it out there, it was basically dusk, which would give us cover with it getting darker. We went back to the house, and after parking a quarter-mile down the road and sneaking up in on foot, we could not believe our eyes. The entire house had been absolutely destroyed. Every window broken out, every door kicked in, and laying on the ground. The garage door that we had opened to park inside laid broken on the floor of the garage. We peeked inside the house, and the amount of destruction inside looked like it would have taken a group of men hours to do. This house was 100% destroyed. Destroyed to the point that nobody would even think about trying to stay there. Broken glass was everywhere. All of the bedroom doors were broken right off the hinges and laying on the ground. The drywall had so many holes smashed through it. The ceiling fan in the dining room was ripped down. It was so insane we could not even believe that what we were looking at. How could this be the same immaculate place we had stayed the previous night? At that point, we were really pissed off. The gravel driveway continued up through the trees and towards the hillside, which was basically the base of a mountain. We decided to go see what was up there, and we walked a little ways further, being as stealthy as possible, and I immediately hated what I saw. There were two old mobile homes very similar to what I had seen a few years before on the mountainside where I had that horrifying encounter with the black creature. The moon wasn't full, but was providing a decent amount of light. We decided to check out the trailers to see if it looked like someone had been there, squatting in them, and feeling brave, being armed, we checked them out. They were in terrible conditioning and disgusting inside. Leaking roofs, water damaged everything, along with tons of sharp glass from all the broken windows. They no longer had the wood steps to the front door, so you had to hop down about 3 feet back onto the ground. No sooner had we jumped down and walked away from the trailer, I heard that weird whistle again.
Uh-oh.
Just as I looked up towards the hillside in front of us, I caught a glimpse for just a split second of something that appeared to be tall and black. Just as I started realizing that someone or something was like 30 feet in front of us, a large boulder/rock about the size of a medium watermelon sailed right past my head, in between my two friends. The strength it must have taken to throw a rock that large and heavy was unimaginable. Had it struck any one of us, it would most likely have been fatal. I didn't even think twice and started unloading my shotgun at where briefly we saw this figure. I unloaded all 5 rounds and immediately started pulling more from my front pocket. My friends were completely shocked and began yelling at me, saying just to run. We did. We ran away as fast as we could and didn't stop until we reached my truck a ways down the road. We never told our parents or anyone else. My friends were kind of mad at me for shooting at the figure, even though that rock would have probably killed one of us if it had hit us in the head. I didn't regret shooting at it. He, whatever it was, I really hoped I got a piece of him in return. We never went back to that property or even in that area in general. Nothing about that mountain felt safe anymore. 28 years later, as I've been replaying these experiences over and over, since listening to your podcast, I've started to research that area. I pulled up Google Earth and went as far back as the dates as I could, which was the late 90s. And I did this one night with my two oldest kids after telling them the story. It was actually very shocking to see how close each of these encounters happened from one another. As the crow flies, the first two encounters happened only within a half mile or even slightly less from one another. The last encounter, incidentally, has only 1.5 miles away, but also right at the base of the mountain where the thick orchards and oak trees. Very interesting to say the least. And anyway, if you made it this far reading all of this, I appreciate you hearing this experience. I've honestly been so reserved for so long in sharing these stories with anyone because I don't want to seem crazy or weird. But after listening to your countless episodes, I realize that there are so many others that have had strange experiences that cannot be explained.
True enough.
We ditched California and moved to East Idaho 11 years ago, and I spend a significant amount of time riding dirt bikes, exploring our local mountains on remote single track, and I ride with a cool gang of buddies. And we have seen wolves, black and brown bears, and mountain lions, but nothing even remotely as scary as what I encountered in our local mountain range in Southern California. Go figure. Wow, there you go. That's a Lulu as well.
Yep.
The first two are really exceptional stories. So, and you can see how much this person wrote. I mean, this is pretty incredible. It should be writing a book, really. That's pretty amazing. But crazy stories. Crazy, crazy stories. And this is the thing. Now, again, I have to believe if it wanted to hit one of those kids with that watermelon-sized rock, it would have.
Right.
But it's still absolutely terrifying. 30 feet away.
Yep.
I mean, if you take a watermelon-sized rock, folks, you might be able to get it 5 feet, with a good heave, maybe 8, maybe 10. But 30 feet with accuracy, you gotta tip the hat to that. That's a lot of strength.
The accuracy is what I would struggle with.
Do you think it's just luck it didn't hit anybody, or do you think it was intentional? It didn't?
I think if something like that was throwing something at someone and they meant to hit it, they would hit it.
Yes,
I mean, because
agree.
if you have that much strength and that much accuracy, it wasn't a miss. It was a full barrels above. Yeah. I can't even get that nautical term out. Yeah, for some reason it's stuck in there, but
that's okay.
A shot over the bow.
Yes, shot across the bow. Yep.
There you go. So
I think that's right. I think they seem to intentionally not hit. I agree, Maggie.
Yeah.
I think that they probably utilize that accuracy, that deadly accuracy in their hunting.
Oh yeah. Because they're using a rock to kill a deer that's 20 feet away. No big deal.
Yep.
But honestly, I think I could probably throw a medium size. Well, it depends on how you throw it too, though. But I could probably chuck a medium size about 15 feet.
But think about like a shot put is.
If they did it like a shot put, but I know I can throw one over my head.
Really?
10, 15 feet at least.
What size though?
Well, a good size, medium watermelon like that. I think I could manage that. But we're just talking about the size, not the actual weight though.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah, it's tough to understand. I mean, I'm sure that you're right though, that if they wanted to
you'd be done.
It would have been hit.
Yep.
So, funny thing though is that Idaho has lots of sightings too.
Yep.
So, this person's talking about being out there but never seeing anything. But then again, this person also had 3 encounters, which is extraordinarily extraordinary amount of sightings for one person to have. I mean, if you get one sighting of a Bigfoot or something of that type, that's pretty incredible.
Yep.
But it is interesting, though, how many people that have had a sighting go on to have successive sightings. It's like, again, the same thing with a lot of this. You don't believe in this stuff until it happens to you. Well, maybe you believe, but you're not a knower until it happens to you. But then it just seems to jump out all over the place. It's like something gets unlocked in our minds or something. There's something crazy going on there where it cracks a seal and suddenly we're open to that other side of reality.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to phrase that.
A medium watermelon rock will definitely crack a seal.
In your brain pan. Yeah.
Nope.
Absolutely. All right.
Bullet to the brain pan. Gonna squish.
Yeah, I bet it would. All right, let's go back to Sasquatch Chronicles for another. Oh, I ended up doing
Well,
this.
I like that too. Yeah.
We can do that again.
Nice. Yeah, that's really well
done?
rendered. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a
Looks
great job. Did a great job. I love the creativity of our crew. You guys are amazing. There's a good video out of Utah that shows a Sasquatch throwing a rock from behind a tree. It was like a underarm lob throw. Yeah, it's a sidearm throw. Yeah, it was. I can't remember what it's called, but it's from some canyon in Utah. It's several years old, but you're right. It's a pretty convincing video. And as far as I know, it's never been debunked. So it's still very much could be an amazing capture.
Yep.
I took photos of a tree peeker on a beach in 2022, Maggie said. I thought it was a human-made, but when I looked again, why day? There's half a tree as part of it. Now I'm not sure who made it. Oh, okay. I gotcha. All right. I gotcha. Tagged or marked. Yeah. Maybe that's it. If Lady J is saying what I think she's saying, tagged or marked, it's, there's a belief that maybe these experiences do tag us or mark us and make us more aware of the presence of all this other stuff.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, I think there is something to that, if that's what you're saying, Lady J.
And honestly, they said they moved to East Idaho. East Idaho is right next to where? Utah.
It is.
What happens in Utah? Stays in Utah, I hope. Oh my God!
Boy, we've been there. Hopefully it stays there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just kidding.
Don't want that to follow thumb. It's most of that's on tape anyhow, or on video sometime anyhow. So, yep.
All right. Well, let's go to the next one.
There are signs to watch for falling rocks from the mountain. Well, yeah, that's because Mount St. Helens actually has a concentration of supposed Bigfoot sightings. Especially since the eruption in 1980.
Since then or before then?
Well, before then, but since then as well. Yeah. So,
I've wondered how many widowmakers are actually squatch throwing branches
that's an interesting idea.
Out of trees. That's a good point.
Yeah, because they get deep into those forests.
Yeah.
Say, hey, get out of here.
Well, there we go. Let's go to Sasquatch Chronicles for the next one. Let me sure turn that down. Turn it off. Where is it? Oh, yeah, I did turn it off. Okay. Got it. All right, we're going to go to Sasquatch Chronicles for the next one because there's more. All right, this one is from May 8th, upcoming show. They chased it.
May 8th, that's today.
Today is May 8th. It is, yeah. It sure is.
May the 8th be with you. Doesn't work very well, does it?
No. Planet of the 8th. Thank you.
Oh, boy.
I'm here all night. All right, listener writes, I've had a week of direct encounters with my dad, brother, and uncles in central Utah back in the early 80s.
See?
While deer hunting over the following 30 years, I've had at least 4 more probable encounters in the same area. I think that I'd like to tell you about them.
Awesome.
Wes says he spoke to the witness and has agreed to come on the show. Well, they previewed it. Let's listen.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get slammed if there's music on here, but let's see what happens. It's okay. I'm okay to take the hit.
So we were sitting around the campfire that night. It was about 9 o'clock, and it started screaming. It started screaming on the hill right behind our camp. And when I say screaming, that's kind of an underestimate. It was so loud and so terrifying. I instantly started shaking. I was just a little kid. As my dad, my older brother, 4 years older than I was. We were in camp. My uncles didn't miss a beat. They jumped up and took off running up on the mountain, on the hill behind our camp where the screaming was coming from. And they had flashlights. We could catch glimpses of the flashlights. You could hear running around. You could hear trees breaking, branches breaking, just all kinds of ruckus. Every once in a while, you'd hear someone say, "It went over that way." And we're just standing down there. My dad had his 300 Win Mag. I was holding on to a 22. I think my older brother had a 30-30. And we're just sitting in camp. And all of a sudden, we hear a gunshot. Not too much longer, they come walking down. And they had a look on their face that I just remember it was like a solemn, they were in thought. They came down, sat by the fire, and I'm an anxious little kid. Did you shoot it? What'd you shoot? Nobody answered me. They were all just quiet, just staring at the fire. I remember one of my uncles was kind of hitting the flames with a stick, and nobody would say anything for the longest time. It felt like minutes. It was probably a minute or two, but it's a little kid. It felt like an hour actually. The first one to speak was my Uncle Victor. And as he was staring in the fire, he goes, "That wasn't a bear."
Oof. Well, it wasn't a bear.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Wasn't after picnic baskets.
Picnic baskets.
Yeah, boo-boo. That's crazy. I think that sounds like an amazing episode. So watch for that. That'll be coming up probably...
Oh, soon.
Yeah, I think doesn't he put his episodes out on Thursday?
I don't know.
Maybe Sunday. I don't know. I've lost track. I've got schedules going through my head of about 5 different things right now. So, very cool though. Very good clip. Wes is so good at just grabbing the right piece and making a real cliffhanger out of it. Oh, now I just can't wait.
Well, yeah, and it's always leaving it on it wasn't a bear. That's
I know. It's like,
well, there you have it. It's got to be something else then.
What does he say next? What does he say?
What's he doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely tune into that. That sounds awesome. I'm sure it's a great video. So again, that's a plug for the upcoming show on Sasquatch Chronicles.
SoCal Squatcher says 100% from Utah. That dude sounds like my cousin Clint.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't even hear an accent. That's interesting. Huh. I don't know.
What kind of an accent is he supposed to have?
I don't know. What do you mean? Definitely Southern Utah sounds like my cousin.
I don't know what... I don't...
Sounded like he was referring to the way he talked, as if the...
Well, yeah, but I've been accused of having an accent, too. And actually, it's not an accent. It's just a Seattle slur.
Seattle slur?
Slur.
I just have an age slur. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's get to the last one from Sasquatch Chronicles. And this is from May 4th. This one's good. Okay. Not extraordinarily long, but it says, upcoming guest, the Timber Cruiser and Sasquatch. Very cool. Listener writes, I'm a timber cruiser that works out of Florida and sometimes Georgia and South Carolina. I have to start off by saying I was born and raised in New York City. New York City.
New York. Get a
rope. I'm sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Pop culture.
Yeah. And I moved to Florida when I was around 17. Well, I met my wife a few years later in college and ended up marrying her and moving in with her and her family on their 40-acre farm.
Sorry.
Okay. I didn't know what I missed here.
So Maggie says, trust me, Don, you do have an accent. Said the Brit and Aussie in Ausland.
The Brit Oz. The Brit Aussie. 40,
Thank you.
So on her 40-acre farm, and her father owned the timber cruising company. So stepping into a brand new world that I have really no idea about, I went from avoiding the woods to being in them every day. We walk where no one else walks. We cross water that is sometimes chest deep. So the fear of alligators and bears really spooked me to another level, being from the city and all. Going into my first encounter, it was probably 4 or 5 months into me working, and I remember having to cross this stretch of water that was pretty deep and fight through tie and briars to get this particular plot. We travel by GPS handhelds that give us the direction to walk in and how far. But after I fight through all that, I get about 70 feet from the plot's center, and there's this cleared out section in the midst of all this thicket, And all I can remember feeling was I just walked into someone's living room. Whenever I work, I walk in the woods, I play music on my phone, and as soon as I got to plot center, I don't hear but feel this deep growl to the point my chest vibrates.
We know what that is.
Yes, we do. For some reason, I tried playing it off as saying it was my music, so I shut it off to kind of prove to myself right, but a couple seconds later, I hear another growl, and it felt the same way, but this time I was able to pinpoint where it was coming from, and it was just behind this thick set of trees and bushes. I couldn't see through it. So I get scared, and I call my wife, and she's telling me it's a bear, not to run, kind of stand your ground. So at the time, I carried a handgun because I was already scared of the woods. So I remember taking it out, and as soon as I did that, it went ballistic and started making aggressive grunts and shaking a pine tree that was just out of sight, but I could see the top. And I remember my wife saying, "That doesn't sound like a bear." And as soon as I heard that, I let off maybe 5 rounds and took off running. When running off, I had to step over the tree beds because there was water between them. And as I'm doing so, I can hear it right on my left side splashing through the water. And at that point, I was terrified, and I shot 3 more times while running. And once I got to the water, I had to cross it completely silent. It really messed me up for a while.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yikes. That is horrifying.
Well, at least he had 1 left in the chamber, depending on what kind of pistol it was.
Yeah.
1 for myself, if it gets that bad.
One more money shot if I need it. Yeah. I don't know. That's pretty terrifying. I know that sound though. Oh God.
Oh God, yeah.
Still gives me chills. Have you heard it?
No, I don't. But I equate it to like drag racers, methane drag racers. They just it's just this concussion. It just pushes.
Yeah.
And it just has this pressure and just and adrenaline just shoots through you. Well, at least it does for me. So, but I've never experienced that like you and our friend Cindy did,
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never, yeah.
I'm here to tell you, it's like standing in front of a subwoofer. The way that it vibrates you, it's just like, and it's the most disconcerting feeling in the world because you can tell it's from something huge. It's from something enormous. I mean, it still brings me back, and I was a kid. I was 14 years old, so I had no idea what the hell was going on. I just knew that I was going to die. I just was so sure that was the sound I heard before it killed me.
Right?
And
yeah,
then,
no doubt.
And then nothing more. It just growled, and we ran. So, whew, yeah, it still raises my pulse to think about it.
Right, no doubt. Yeah.
And I'm not anywhere near 14 anymore, so it's been a lot of years.
Hi, Taz.
Taz, how you doing? Good to see you. Paranormal Portal. Hi, guys. Been a bit. It has.
Yep.
It has. We've still been here, though, but it's good to see you come back. Thank you. Indominus Red Growl. Yeah, for sure.
That's I forgot what I was going to say.
Need some starting fluid on that mortar?
Yep, let's pass that one by.
All right. But anyway, there we go. That was an upcoming show. You'll have to check out Sasquatch Chronicles to get to more of that. It'll be an episode, so keep your eyes peeled. How are we doing? 49. Good God. I think we got time for one Phantoms and Monsters.
Sure.
And I know, because we started late.
Just the guy.
No, I want to go to a different kind of cryptid.
He's been posting a lot on the page, on the fans page.
I know, Lana's great. Gosh. He's always posting. And we're going to go to Phantoms and Monsters now, ladies and gentlemen. And I wanted to read this one. I hope it's not too long.
Connection lost, Rachel.
Yeah, this one's okay. We'll be able to get through this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I figured this would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
As a different topic, I promised you guys if I found stories, we would be covering more of this. Well, I found another story, and it was on phantomsandmonsters.com. Again, this is an amazing site as well. There's thousands of stories over here and encounter stories that Lon has recorded. There's research efforts that Lon and his crew or his affiliated crew are doing across the country in terms of different cryptids and phenomena. So definitely look into that. And there is Lon's published works and his podcast, Phantoms and Monsters Radio. So check that out. That's on YouTube as well.
Yep.
Lon does live shows where he discusses some of these articles, not necessarily the same ones we're talking about, but he's got so much material. It's
you
crazy.
had Naysay on last week.
I did, yeah. I had a Saturday, and I was like, not last week, but the week before.
Was it the week before already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how time flies, but you're right. Yeah, it was fun to have Nacy on.
Yeah.
Just a little...
Sorry, I just had this flash of memory about it.
Yeah, that neuron finally fired.
Yep,
there you go.
It finally did it.
All right, so we're going to go to phantomsandmonsters.com for the next and last story.
Sweet.
And this is little humanoid experiences from southeastern Maine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, little humanoids, like gnomish things, I guess.
Probably came over on the... Gosh.
What?
I can't remember words today. I'm starting...
Don might be having a stroke, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God.
Test his vision when we get done.
Mayflower.
The Mayflower.
Came over on the Mayflower.
Maybe. The writer recalls 2 incidents involving little humanoids, and one was from his father, and the other was from an experience told by an old man. Where were these beings? I will say that the First Nations had legends of these things far before we came over. So, all right, this first story is from my father, and during one particular summer, my father, who had been toiling out in the yard, had decided to come inside to get away from the heat and take a little break. Mm-hmm. He said he went into his bedroom and just laid down on the mattress on his back and looking at the ceiling. After some time, just enjoying the silence and the warm buzz of the empty room, he heard the sound of paper rustling softly to his side. Thinking perhaps it was a mouse, he turned his head very slowly, carefully not to scare it away, and he was startled to see a small humanoid figure rummaging through some newspaper that was near my parents' dresser. He said it was like a little person and that it was dressed in dark brown rags. My father recalled watching it for a few seconds in disbelief, and that was when the figure stopped dead in its tracks, as if it suddenly realized that it had been noticed. At that moment, he said it turned quickly and walked through the wall.
Wow.
Vanishing.
Hi, Dobie.
Yeah. Dobie's free. As soon as it disappeared, he jumped off the bed and to search the spot the figure had just occupied, even feeling at the wall where it had gone through, but there was nothing there. If you've ever seen the film Cat's Eye, based off a collection of Stephen King stories, my father claims that the little person he saw closely resembled the little creature that was living in the little girl's room. I'm in my mid-30s, and to this day, he still stands by what he saw. My second story, to piggyback off the first one, also took place when I was a child, and this is a story within a story. My family owns the property in southeast Maine, and we mainly use it for hunting, and it's on the edge of the town where I grew up, and apart from the acre we've cleared out to feed deer, the rest is all thick brush. When I was little, my father bought the property from another family, and once, while we were negotiating prices, etc., he heard a strange story from the buyer's grandfather. Now, the old man had grown up in the area and used to love talking about his boyhood adventures on the property. All innocent stories, except one time, the old man related a strange incident that happened to him one early morning when he was very small. A large creek used to run through the property, and today it's nothing more than a dried-out ravine, but when the old man was a child, it was full and had fish in it. The old man said that one early morning, he had come out on the property to do some fishing, and as he approached the creek, he was startled to hear hushed voices. Creeping quietly to see who it might be, he said he found himself looking at 2 small people standing at the water's edge. The figures appeared to be no bigger than a foot and were dressed in dark green and brown clothing. The voices that he had heard belonged to these 2 people, and although he couldn't tell what they were talking about, he remembered feeling that it was something serious, And then he remembers that one of them whistled like a bird, and to his astonishment, a whole group of these beings clambered out of a dead nearby fallen tree. The old man said as he watched, they gathered and walked in file down the bank, disappearing where the creek bent and went in another direction. Of course, when he got up to find them, there was no trace of them. The old man told my father that he had tried going early again several times, hoping to see them again, but he never did. Wow, that's pretty amazing.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is it gnomes or is it domovoi?
I don't. Domovoi is the spirit of a house in Slavic lore, but so the disappearing one walking into the wall could be, but the other one sounds like some kind of gnome or duende or something.
Duende,
of that
that's what I meant to say. Duende.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I mean, it's Maine. Duende are usually from the Southwest or Mexico, but because it's a Hispanic name. But I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. It's just names like Bigfoot, Grassman,
exactly, yeah,
etc. So they're just these diminutive figures.
Yeah.
But at any rate, very cool. I think it's pretty neat. I envy people that have seen them. I think it's got to be a real magical experience. I mean, I do believe these things are out there. I really, really do. It doesn't get we don't get a lot of these stories.
Right.
But I think that's mostly because people are okay talking about Bigfoot now for the most part. People are okay talking about UFOs for the most part and ghosts. But a lot of people still aren't okay with talking about little people because that hasn't quite hit the main theme yet in the supernatural paranormal worlds. But I think these things are there. I think, there's sylphs, there's brownies, there's elementals, there's gnomes, there's dwarfs, there's, so many legendary creatures that have been with cultures all around the world.
Right.
Elves, etc. So all of these people must have started with some truth.
Right.
They must have looms if they're wearing clothes. Well, there's many famous stories dealing with these diminutive beings, them being cobblers and tailors and things like that. I mean, these sound like more country bumpkin type, but rather than the more refined, cultured ones.
You know what, though? People need to remember, though, that we leave so much stuff laying around, so they could use... I wonder how many a pair do these
old underwear
does this butt make my pants look big? So they probably make like 4 or 5 little pairs of jeans out of a pair of my jeans. So you got to remember that they do collect things and they probably repurpose. So canvas, not a big deal. Yeah, they're making jackets out of canvas. What the heck?
Right.
So anyhow, got to do shout outs before we leave.
Let's do some shout outs, folks. Yeah. If you want shout outs, you got to talk on the chat.
You got to be chatting.
If you don't want to shout out, just hang back and enjoy yourself. I will do the Rumble ones right now. It's Dog Diggers over there, which is Digger Dog, Justin Good Earth, Ty Pan, and I know HB Girl to you and Barbara Moore are over there. So
HB Girl?
Yeah, that's Lucky Gypsy. That's her Rumble name.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know on Twitch, Lucky Gypsy's over there. Let me see if anything else is going on over there. So hold on a sec as I switch. Looks like, Lucky Gypsy and I are the only ones talking over on Twitch, but hopefully Twitch will take off sometime. People will find us. They decide they want to join the club.
All right. Well, over in YouTube, we've got Andy Manuel, we've got Aussie Tiger, Barbara Mora. Hey, Barbara, are you going to make any more of those mugs with the cow in the... Because I'd really like to have one. We'll talk. Chris is here. Chris Cirque. Elaine, hi Elaine. Grumpy Owl. Seriously, if you do that kind of work, I really kind of do want some stuff done. So you'll have to get a hold of me. Just look me up on Facebook. John Stephenson is here. Lady J Homestead. Nathan Nate's here. Philip Blair. Rachel gets it right. SoCal Squatcher. Hi Taz, how you doing? Tommy Cooper from Cryptovania. Wizard Moon and that guy down there, Aether Archives. Mom was here a little bit ago. So was Jaron Daniels. Shout out to them as well. Let's see. Did I miss somebody that's not chatting? Nope, I don't think so.
Looks like we got them all.
We got them.
Well, thank you all for being here and being part of the journey. I know we started a little late, but it's Wednesdays. We oftentimes
it's fashionable.
It's
actually it's dysfunctional for us. Whatever.
Well, yeah, it started out looked like we were going to be timely, and then all of a sudden, Don and I started talking, and it suddenly was 10 minutes after. It was like,
oh, Tommy, I don't know if I could do that, but I'm going to hide that comment.
What did he say?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's one thing I've never done.
I don't even know if I want to know anymore.
Well, you have. You've talked about it. But anyhow.
I don't know what I've done.
That's okay.
Okay.
You did it with Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Tommy says we need to do that together. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of leery about that one.
I've had some an interesting experience.
I would be worried about wandering away, like mentally, but
it's a real quick experience. So.
Yeah, well, so you said like 10, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
No,
it wasn't real long. But it was really intense.
I tell you
my
what
God.
I don't want to do is I don't want to do, what's it called?
I don't know.
The bark. The ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca, yeah.
Because that requires purging because your body can't process wood. So you need to purge. It's a nice way.
That's not what I heard.
It's a nice way of saying vomiting for 15 minutes. Oh my God, no. So I don't know. We'll have to. I don't know.
Just couldn't resist. All right, that's all we got time for. That's enough debauchery for tonight, I think. So we'll probably call it a night. I'll be back on Friday. I think Sheldon will be with me. So and we'll continue.
Oh boy,
that just was funny.
Sorry. And sorry I wasn't able to make it last week. I wouldn't have been able to talk last week anyhow. I was coughing all Wednesday. Got over it, but I still sound a little scratchy though.
I'll go better.
If you haven't noticed, I'm a little scratchy still.
No, you sound normal.
Not normal?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't want to be normal.
Well, I mean normal you is what I mean, not normal.
Okay.
There's
not normal like Garfield's little thing. Anyhow, so wow.
All right, well that's all we got time for, folks. Hope you had a good time, and thank you so much. Please continue spreading the word. Bring some more people here. We got a lot of love and more to give. And so Friday and Saturday there'll be live shows. Again, I'm going to do a poll on YouTube. I'm going to do it through the community tab. And if you watch for that, if you see it, if you're on YouTube, basically I'm going to poll, and don't answer here because I'm never going to remember. But would you be interested?
I'm never going to remember.
Well, I mean, if I see it, it will be like, how many was that? I don't remember. Was it 8, 15, 1? So would you be interested in me starting a second, well, not a second show. It would still be on this channel, but it would be another night where we do in-studio investigations.
Oh.
Maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, maybe weekly. I don't know. It depends on what I'm in the mood for. But
you know what? You just remember, though, doing 10 shows a week was really wearing you out.
Oh, yeah, I know. I did it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did 10 shows a week. That was a lot.
Yep.
Between 7 live shows and 3 podcasts, yeah, it was a lot. But,
yeah, you got crazy about it. I was doing 7 with you, but
yeah,
that was still crazy.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So at any rate, just think about it. Watch for that poll. Let me know what you think. Again, I would do it on a separate night just because I don't want it to be freaky for those people that are disturbed by that. So it would be a brand new night. Maybe on Thursday nights we could do that. Just a thought. But I'm just throwing it out there because I miss investigating. Maggie said, I remember Maggie said yes last time. Okay, thank you, Maggie. I will remember that. But yeah, it would still be 7 to 9 PST always, Nate, on the shows. I don't ever want to switch up the times and make it confusing for people. So every show will start at 7. But anyway, I was thinking about starting these shows at 8 just because it seems like the second hour is when we get a lot more people showing up. So they're coming from somewhere, but they're missing the first hour. But anyway, we're not going to do that. They can just watch the replay to catch the first part. Anyway, Don, anything in closing?
Nope. Just remember that you can get your Paranormal Portal gear at Spring. It's not called Teespring anymore. It's called Spring.
The link is in the description.
Down below.
Or I don't know where it is on Rumble, but it's in the description on Rumble as well. So yeah, check those out. It helps it out a ton, and you can support some of the greatest gear in all of the paranormal verse.
That's right.
So just saying.
That's right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for us. So remember the Discord. We'd love to have you over there. The Discord link is in the description as well. So look for that if you're a Discord user and are not a member of the Paranormal Portal Discord. Watch for the podcasts. Watch for the video podcasts. Those are coming out. Release the podcast every Monday. And this week is John Burke talking about near-death experiences and God. So it was a good talk. He's a great guy. We had a great discussion. But check out the backlog, too. We got hundreds of episodes on the podcast, audio only. And there's lots of great material out there. So hopefully you will get your support everywhere. But anyway, spread the word. Until then, we'll see you.
Good night.
We love you all. Be good. Be kind.
Oh, yeah, that's
Be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can.
And don't be a dick.
Don't ever be dicks. All right. See you guys.
Good night.
Woo!